Hello and welcome, my name is Trenton Hoshiko, and today's cinematography video is all about the E-mart T-bar portable backdrop kit. I picked this T-bar stand up recently specifically to use as a cheap alternative to large diffusion frames, but it's designed to hold all sorts of materials, including backdrops and 5-in-1 reflectors as well. It cost me about $30, which I thought was a pretty satisfying deal, especially because this model is 5 feet across and 8.5 feet tall, which is larger than some of the other options out there, even ones that do cost more. If you're just here for the short answer, I do like this tool and it works well for my purposes, but I am disappointed by a severe lack of compatibility with regular baby pin mounts, leaving it much less flexible than I'd hoped for. But stick around to hear my complete thoughts. What I noticed immediately was that this is very small and portable in its case. For a backdrop stand, that is very impressive to me, and it only becomes more obvious if you put it next to a 2-stand crossbar style backdrop case or 2 C-stands. It is substantially less to transport. Now, the crossbar setup is obviously more sturdy, and that or a 2 C-stand setup can both accommodate the fabric type backdrops or paper roll type backdrops, which the T-bar cannot do. However, for my main purpose of getting this to use as a large diffusion setup, it works great, and that is much more convenient with the T-bar than a crossbar. How it manages to have the small, very portable size is that the sections actually screw together, so assembly is required, but it only takes about 2 minutes to 3 minutes based on the test that I did. The screw on the threads is plastic, while the stand tubes are aluminum, and they do seem generally sturdy enough, but they'll probably wear over time, just specifically on the plastic. This design does make it super convenient for photographers to bring an entire backdrop setup to a location, or for filmmakers needing to hang sheets of diffusion, or even duvetine to block light. If you do get one of these E-mart T-bars, definitely be careful when screwing the pieces together to increase the longevity of them. I do think that plastic will wear over time. I really like the extending T-bar arms also. That helps you have basically 2 different widths possible depending on what you're hanging from the stand. So now with something like this set up, we can pass light through it. If we had the actual white bounce side of it attached, we could bounce light off of this. If we wanted to use it as a reflector, we could use it as a very large reflector. Very easy to set up this stand and then apply your diffusion, bounce, or backdrop material to it. I can imagine that if you travel with it a lot and have to set it up and tear it down all the time, it could get a bit annoying. But I still think it is reasonably quick and easy to do that setup. You can't really travel with the pieces already screwed together because it's then roughly 4 feet tall, and that kind of defeats the very portable nature of it. However, if you are in like a studio environment with the space, you could just leave it set up all the time to reduce the wear and tear on the stand. So what is the downside of this cheap, reasonably sturdy, and very portable T-bar? Well, it's a big one. Like me, you might have been thinking, as I've discussed this, that the T-bar could be attached to any baby pin compatible size attachment point, either black stands or rolling light stands, or even a C-stand gobo arm that's been turned upside down. And that is where we are both wrong. With all the stands that I've tested and gobo arms, the T-bar will not attach to any of them. The diameter of the receiver is just too small. I would probably rather have it be able to go on any sort of baby pin type stand. So take it off, try to move it over. It does not go around the head of the baby pin. This one has some rounded edges and this one does not. And that seems to be the issue. The same thing works for putting it on a gobo arm and basically every other baby stand that I've tried, unfortunately. And that kind of makes me mad. I'm not sure if that is on purpose or just careless manufacturing. I might even go and actually core out the receiver of mine with a large drill bit just to make it fit on a regular baby pin. But in my opinion, this is a significant, severe knock against this particular product's usability, unless you want to be able to only use the included stand. I will say that the construction of the stand seems much sturdier than most cheap light stands and much less sturdy than a C-stand, while being more portable than either of those. and it has a higher reach than the average light stand and a comparable to a little bit less reach than the average C stand. What separates this from a glowing review is that a C-stand would have had the best vertical reach while having the best sturdiness, and I would have loved to have that as a compatible option for the crossbar if I wanted to use it that way. On a note of safety, always make sure to have the pieces screwed together tightly and that you use sandbags when placing the stand. Mine did come with this like water fillable weight thing, but I do think that the sandbags that I already use are going to be, because of habit, ultimately easier and safer to actually weigh this down. Now the ultimate question is, does this fit my purposes of being a large format diffusion holder for a 6x6 silk, white muslin, shower curtains, or 5-in-1 reflector cores? Yes. Does it fill my goal of having something to easily hang fabric backdrops? Yes. Although, for both of those, most T-bars would be a yes, right? Now, is it portable? Yes, very much so. And lastly, is it flexible? No, and it's in the worst way possible. If your one stand breaks, the crossbar isn't compatible with anything else. In my opinion, really snubbing both the usability and flexibility. Plus, I don't like it when products are set up in proprietary ways when the norm for that type of product is something that is a general standard, like a baby pen. So we're left with the idea that this definitely can fill my main needs, especially at the cost of $30, but leaves that flexibility to be sorely missed. For other folks, I think they'd be in a similar place to me, and therefore this product could easily work very well for some people or be a complete non-starter for others. I'm curious to hear your thoughts and questions about the E-mart T-bar, so if you do have any, please leave them in the comments down below. If you want to pick up the E-mart T-bar or some of the diffusion options or just generally tools that I use all the time in my videos, like softboxes and lanterns, I have affiliate links down in the video description that help support the channel at no extra cost to you, including 10% off coupon codes for both DEHANCER and GVM LED lights. If you like lighting equipment videos like this one, please do give the video a like to help me with the YouTube algorithm and reaching new viewers who also like these kinds of cinematography videos. And if you want to, you can subscribe for upcoming videos about tools and techniques for cinematography, lighting, and micro-budget filmmaking in general. I am currently trying to get to 2,000 subscribers as my next milestone goal. I'm also trying to reach 150 total supporters and members over on my Patreon, which helps support me making the videos on this channel, including video lessons, technique lessons, and gear overviews like this one. I have both free and paid tiers that start at just $2, and you can join at patreon.com/Trenton Hoshiko. I really appreciate everybody who's gone over there so far and joined. Your support means so much to me. I do also use Ko-fi and Buy Me a Coffee if you prefer those options for creator support. If you want to follow me on social media, my Blue Sky, Mastodon, Hey.Cafe, PixelFed, and filmmaking Tumblr, as well as my own personal cinematography blog on my own website, are all linked down in the video's description. You might even see a few pictures of my pets that I post over there. Who doesn't love posting a fluffy, furry friend online? As always, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead of you. Peace.